All right, it's time to add the breakbeat part of our drums in. So the first thing you guys are going to do is download the folder of breakbeats that I gave you. And let me show you how to load it into Ableton so that you don't need to keep going to the folder to listen to stuff. What I want you to do, scroll down here in your places, press Add Folder. Then you're going to search for the breakbeat folder that you downloaded. And you're going to press Open. Okay? What happens is now this folder will be available to you right here within Ableton. Okay? So we can start scrolling through these and listening to them. Some are going to be good for this project, some are not, but let's just start listening to them. Okay, so you'll notice there are a bunch of different types of drum beats that we can use for our breakbeat. I'm just going to choose one of them because this one's basically the easiest one to use in my opinion, but you can choose any one you want, but this one lends itself real well. Again, we're using this, we're using these drums to create the higher part of our drums. We have the kick and the snare already, and we're adding the hat. All right. So I'm going to pull the breakbeat into a brand new track. Let me go to the... And what you're going to do is we are going to cut the breakbeat up, all right? And we are going to rearrange the pieces, okay? Let me say that one more time. We're going to take this breakbeat, we're going to cut it up, we're going to slice it all up and rearrange the pieces to make our own beat. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put it into a 1/8 grid. Control click here, 1/8 grid. And I am going to every eighth note, zing, and I'm going to chop it. Command E, Command E. Okay, I am going to chop every single eighth note. Wow, it's like one of those cooking shows where everything comes out of the oven. Look, all the eighth notes have been split now. Okay, now here's the fun where we get to rearrange the pieces. So I'm going to make a new audio track. Command D. I'm going to name it Command R. Breakbeat 1. Now I'm going to stick a high pass filter on it. High pass means we're going to let the highs pass through. I can do this with an auto filter. Okay. We're going to play with that a little bit more later. I could also do it with the EQ8. That would look like this. I could also do it with an EQ3. What? Actually, I'm done showing you things. Okay, I'm going to go to an auto filter. And what I'm going to do is start to rearrange these pieces. So check it out. And a lot of this is trial and error. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. Command C, Command V. Then I'm going to I'm just grabbing random ones, Command C, Command V. Grab another, Command C, Command V. Grab another, Command C, Command V. Again, I'm reordering the pieces. There is no method to my madness at the moment, but we'll see how it sounds when I get done. Let's listen to one measure's worth right now. I'm going to solo this track. I'm going to loop one measure. Too many of those. Zing. There we go. There we go. Then just to give you an idea what that will sound like with the other drums, let's turn on. Let's go to a place we have our other drums. And let's put them together. Hear it? All right, so But we're not done. So all we did at this point is kind of reorder the pieces. There are other really fun things we can do. Okay, let me show you some choices here. So let me double click on one of these clips. I'm going to do this one. One thing we can do to even make the clip sound more interesting is we can use the transpose button. That'll make it higher. Okay, or we could make it lower. Let's make this one higher. Let's hear it from the beginning. That might be a little bit much. When you're doing this, I want you guys to think, okay, this sounds cool. Do I want to hear it for 3.5 minutes, right? So that's probably not something I would want to hear for 3.5 minutes, but maybe I'll just transpose it up just a little bit instead. There we go. That's totally fine. Now, another thing that's really cool is the reverse function. I'm going to double click on a different clip. I am going to use reverse. Watch the waveform. Zing! The waveform reversed. Okay? Now check it out. Okay? So the two things that you guys can, after you reorder the clips, you might want to play around with transpose and you might want to play around with reverse. Not too much so it becomes annoying, but just enough to give it a little bit more character. Alright, so I have composed my 4 break beats, 4 drum beats, and note, I'm using the exact same break beat the whole time. I'm not switching to different break beats within the starter kit. Okay, I highly recommend you do the same, otherwise your drums might sound all over the place. So here are my 4 different versions. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. And here's the fourth one. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join each of these breakbeat 4 measures together so that it's not hard to work with. So I'm going to grab this whole breakbeat, Command J. Yeah. I'm going to grab this one, Command J. And Command J, if you to remember that, that's join. Command J here. And one more time. And then, so things are easier to manage within my session, I am going to put all these breakbeats into a folder, or into a track together. So I'm going to select breakbeat 1 through breakbeat 4, and I'm going to do Command G. I grouped them together, and I'm going to name them breakbeats. And, moreover, I'm going to turn this channel off, because I don't need that. And I also don't need my original one, where I cut it up. Bye. Okay, so now I have my breakbeats folder. It has my 4 breakbeats within it, but I'm turning the channel off. This is just basically information that we're storing within our session, but this is, when we get all done with our project, we're going to delete this. Okay? Okay, so the last step in this is to create a breakbeat composite track, and that word composite you'll see a lot in the music industry when we're putting everything together. So, I already have one, but let me show you how I would do it. I would do Command T. I'm going to call it breakbeat composite. And before I forget, I'm going to stick a high pass filter on this one. Remember, when we put a filter on, it's not the clip that has the filter, it's the track. So this track needs a high pass, so I'm going to put a high pass on. And then what I'm going to start to do is arrange my breakbeat. I have 4 different breakbeats. I'm going to arrange them based on the sections of the song. So, let's see, we went down here. Let me grab one of them. I'm going to grab breakbeat 1, zing, and I'm going to use it in the verses, I believe. I'll try it out and see how it sounds. You've been way too. So I'm going to try breakbeat 1 here, Command V. get right in there to make sure it's accurate, okay?
You've been way too quiet. I've been way too sober.
I want to be able to pull it out, so I'm going to loop it. Zing.
You've been way too quiet. I've been way too sober. Don't wanna let this go.
Actually, I don't want it. I don't want it to start until here.
We used to get so high. Naturally, we never had to try. Never had to try.
Alright, and then maybe when we get to the drop, I want to change. So this is, I'm going to name this one break beat. Oops. 1. And then maybe when we get to the drop, I want to use maybe those, I don't know, maybe the break beat 2. Let's see it. How it sounds. I actually don't like that at all, so I would try something else, okay? Or maybe I would say, you know what? I don't even want a breakbeat during the drop, okay? So let me show you what the finished product looks like. Here's a breakbeat composite I already finished, and you can see for the verses I used breakbeat 1, for the drops I used breakbeat 3, for the bridge I used breakbeat 4, and I didn't use breakbeat 2 at all. Who cares? No problemo. You're probably not going to use them all, okay? Use your favorites. So I suggest laying it out in a systematic manner like I did, where the verses have the same one and the drop has the same one, but you guys are ultimately allowed to choose what you want.